Cancer, welcome to Illuminated Tarot. My name is Jenna. Today I'm here to do a reading for you for the rest of February. We're going to take a look at your recent past, your current energies, and your immediate future. As well as some important advice from Spirit. I hope you're all doing well. You're enjoying the start of Pisces season. What a shift in the energy, yeah? Woo! I'll tell you what. I love it when we move into a water energy because things just flow. And since it's Pisces and it's the last sign of the zodiac, Pisces is all the other zodiacs combined. So this energy is a deeply intuitive energy. It's very magical, mystical. So tap into this sensation of the energy. I think a lot of you will find this is a palpable difference between last month and this month as far as things flowing better. As long as you let go of control, this should be a pretty smooth ride. But let's see what's going on for you Cancers out there, right? Thank you, Spirit, for presiding over this reading for Cancer. I'm going to pull the spread with, I'm going to do one more shuffle, I said, with This May, what am I saying? I did This May Hurt with Pisces just now, with When Women Had Wings Tarot. Ooh, we have the 8 of Wands and Temperance. So you got guided strongly by Spirit in the recent past that it's time for you to bring more balance into your life and to slow down. And I think you listened, okay? You listened. Time to slow down so you can come into balance because things were moving too fast. There's a lot of changes that hit your life at once. And it's almost like you're trying to recover from it. You could have had a lot of communications during Aquarius season, a lot of downloads, and it's almost like you're doing some softening and integration work around the past couple weeks. All right. Being gentle with oneself, I'm getting. Let's get the challenge. Let's get the challenge. That does not want to go back in. Both of those. Oh, wow. We had the 8 of Wands come out in the surface energy. Now it's showing up in the deeper energy for the challenge. 7 of Swords. Wow, you have a challenge right now. This is communication that you're having a hard time trusting. Okay. 7 of Swords is my energy of deception. There's something going on around communication or around moving forward in something in your life at this time. There's some uncertainty around it. All right, Cancer. Interesting. 8 of Wands is a very beautiful, it's a charged energy. So you may have even been looking at the learning. This is also signifying the learning that you have been incorporating into your awareness has a lot to do with people who wear masks and almost being able to see right through it in a way you haven't before. It's almost like you've been given this new ability, Cancer, to see when someone is not being honest with themselves. And you could be using this kind of work in your profession. Interesting. I feel like you've kind of leveled up in your ability to perceive deeper layers. And this could be something coming in. And the challenge of that is like being aware of that when you're interacting with people. Interesting. Feels very mysterious, the challenge here for you. Now, in the recent past, we have the 9 of Wands, the Death, and the Ace of Cups. Ooh. You had, it's like, what I said, I just heard Papa Squat. You know when you're like, okay, I need to ground. I don't know why I'm getting this sense, not the traditional meaning of the 9 of Wands, but I'm getting that you had to ground yourself. Like, all right, I need to get close to the ground. Some of you even literally, like you needed to lay down, ground your energy, because you went through a massive transformation in your heart frequency. Something broke your heart open, and it's something that you had to grieve. Why am I getting that? You had to just almost, like when a plane gets grounded and you have to wait, right? There's a delay. That's what I'm getting off this energy in the past. There was some sort of delay, and now you're moving forward after taking maybe a pause. It feels like life, all of life, right? Not just a situation. Like there's something that you've had to go through in the recent past, almost like either somebody left your life or you've gone through a massive ego death, or both. A beautiful transformation where you went from, I'm going to see my life through the lens of the distortion of my wounds versus I'm going to see my life through the beauty of my higher self, my true self, my wise self. I think this happened a while ago. Cancer, but there's some sort of integration going on now. And I think that's what Pisces season is for us to flow onto the higher timeline and to actually, in our self-actualization, recognize the new in all of us. In Cancer, you're doing this in a beautiful way. This is a new beginning in your heart space after going through quite a bit. All right, quite a bit, hon. Nine of Wands, Death. It's like, okay, Spirit's trying to tell you that the hard part, the real hard part, it's almost like when something happens, you're like, if that were to happen, I don't know if I'd be okay. And you're realizing, well, if the worst could happen and I survived it, then I'm going to be okay. It's the Spirit wants you to know that, okay? Woo! This could have more to do with trusting your path here, even though you've been through a lot, right? Right? Continue to trust. Now we have the Three of Wands, the Ten of Wands, yeah, and the Strength. Wow, you're having to show great resilience, perseverance, fortitude in your growth. It's almost like you signed up for a lot in this life, Cancer, a lot. And, actually, I read for a quadruple Cancer the other day. And I mean, to be so, I think it's hard for Cancers because you feel not only your emotions on a deep level, but you feel the world's emotions. And right now, we're in water. You're feeling everybody's emotions as the empaths that you are. So this current energy has a lot to do with you realizing that life is a process of evolution and growth. And while your growing pains have been deep and difficult, you're dropping the burden of seeing it as a hardship. It's like recognizing your gifts and trusting in yourself. As hard fought as it may feel or seem, you're in a beautiful place, Cancer. You're in a beautiful place. Spirit needs you to know that. I'm channeling Spirit right now. They need you to know that a lot of this was your choosing. All right. And I know some of you I might get some attacks here. You're like, oh, I didn't choose this person to die. I didn't choose this situation to fall apart. I didn't choose this. Well, in the recollection of perspective, once time passes, all of our challenges and hardships become blessings. But it doesn't feel like that when it happens at all. The opposite. So I think you're going to look back at the hardship, and you might already be doing that, where you're like, you're at that teeter point of, I see the blessing now. I see the blessing. Because at first you're pissed. You're angry at the universe. You're angry at God. You're angry at just life. And then you soften. And it actually gets you closer to God. It gets you closer to Spirit. It gets you closer to your faith. So I see you doing that here. It's a big reading for you. Yeah. You're restoring your hope and faith. Oh, I love it. Oh, man. We have the Star, the Nine of Cups, and the Empress. See, you didn't give up. You didn't give up. When times got tough, you just dug deeper, right? Oh, man, you've got some beautiful energy coming in. I mean, I told you. We have the Star and the Empress. This is wish fulfillment. This is recognizing your whole complete nature of your own becoming on a higher timeline and trusting that. Wow. All right, let's get the overall general energy for this whole reading. Queen of Swords. Wow, you're standing in a lot of truth and integrity here. People look up to you, Cancer. You've now you've elevated. You've elevated in your life overall, but it's through pain and suffering. This is true alchemy, what you're showing me. Bottom of the deck, the Devil. Yeah. And you're showing me, all right, it's almost like you're afraid to trust because you've been through so much. You're just like, all right, I'm seeing that you have a beautiful opportunity to understand yourself on a deeper level. So your belief system is shifting here, big time. This Devil, it's coming up for the entire collective a lot at the end of February. And you want to know what it is? Sometimes it's fear, right? Sometimes it's insecurity. Sometimes it's doubt. This is our patterns. This is our patterns and what we're trying to correct. So we can step into a parallel reality where we overcome the pattern and we live from a higher truth, from a higher vibration, almost becoming superhuman, because we strip away from the ego's need to control everything. It's basically, you're showing me non-attachment. You're showing me flow and surrender. There's something coming up on your raft here that I think is not as scary as you think it is. You could be anticipating the worst, but you're aligning with so much truth here in the near future. I'm really curious about what this devil's about. This is what you don't see coming. I feel like the devil in your past really brought you to your knees, but the devil of your future, it's a different devil because you're a different you. Does that make sense? Wow, I'm getting so much from your reading. All right, let's go into the Mystic Forest Oracle to find out what Spirit is wanting you to know. What is their guidance for you at this time, Cancer? What is their guidance for you? Life is a gift. Oh, that's when we change this. We flip the script, right? Listen, crazy shit happens in our lifetimes, and crazy shit is happening on the world stage. You know, I just say, don't tune it out. But if you take too much of it in and you absorb it, you're taking in too much negativity then, right? Life is a gift. I think you're realizing, even through the greatest suffering that you've endured in the past, and you really leaning into your inner resolve, right? You're so resolute. You're like, all right. Oh gosh. I wish I could just give you a big hug and know that you are loved so deeply and truly. I think that's what your wise mind and your higher self and your spirit team is trying to do for you at every turn here. No matter what has befallen you on your path, we have life as a gift. Life is unfolding for you, so seize the day and make the most of every chance to be true to yourself and live life to the fullest. It's time to cut out all the noise. Yeah. There's a lot of noise in the world, and I feel like for some reason, Cancer, you're acutely aware of it more than any other sign. You are the feelers of the zodiac, so this is probably why. But you don't have to take on the weight of the world, okay? Whether it's in your personal life, in a family dynamic, in the past, right, of what you've had to endure. They were reminding you of your innocence. Let's now go deeper. I'm going to pull from the original tarot. I want to find out, what is this? I feel like you're having to make some important decisions. And you're having to communicate something. That's the challenge. Eight of Wands. You could have somebody around you that you're not sure you can trust, because you have been betrayed in the past here. Let's see the Queen of Swords. This is a strong energy influencing this reading around standing in your truth and integrity. This is right action, right speech. Interesting. You could also be a communicator in your work. Whoa, that one to come out again. Wow. Justice. We have a lot of Libran energy here. Wherever Libra is in your chart, Cancer, it's really being activated at this time. And this is around, why do I feel like there's something you don't want to speak about because of the way it might fall on someone's ears. But you have to. It's there's something about truth for you coming up here, Cancer. Ooh, this is a tough one. It's you don't want to say it, but you have to. Ooh, I'm feeling your fear here. There's some sort of pattern that you're having in communicating with somebody that you know you can't trust, but you feel bound to them. This is about your sovereignty and the way you nurture. I feel like you have this is very similar to Pisces, where this is somebody who you're very disappointed in their choices. This could be anybody in your life. Pisces, it felt like a strong parent-child dynamic. For some of you, it's not that. It's you decide who it is. But there's somebody that you are disappointed in. And it's you're trying to get to the truth, and you're trying to communicate your truth, and it's difficult. I'm getting, for a lot of you, this is a family member, could be a sibling, or it could be your parent, a caregiver for you, or you're the parent. Regardless, because we have the Empress here. This is family ties, right? Where we play out a lot of karma, right? The Justice here and the Devil. Yeah. I'm getting this. You're having to exercise a lot of strength of will currently right now to face a situation and speak your truth, and you don't want to, but you have to. Again, you've gone through this beautiful transformation around a lot of your wounding and patterning and opening up your heart and trying to persevere. It's almost like you've been so selfless and unconditional and open, but if you don't do it with boundaries, Queen of Swords, Justice, it's almost like you're learning how to put yourself first in ways that maybe you never have or could. Because Cancer, your family is everything to you. You would give up, your right arm for a family member, or your left kidney, right? Like literally, because you love your soul bonds that deeply. So I'm getting that there's a heaviness in your heart because you have to speak up for yourself here. This challenge. Let's see what this conversation is about. It's someone who's acting in deceptive ways. Maybe someone who's been manipulative. And like I said, that mask, you're like, oh no, I see it. Oh man. That kind of vibe. Eight of Cups. Oh, wow. Oof. Oof. Cancer. This is swift. This is just. This is correct. Correct. Cancer, what you're doing. I'm getting goosebumps because this is hard for you. And it's almost like, when your hands are ringing, like energetically wringing your hands, and you're like, okay, I got to say this. I got to do this. And you're doing it. I feel like you have a younger energy around you or someone who's very immature emotionally, okay, whoever this is. They're showing up as a Page of Cups. This is your challenge. You're turning your back on somebody. 10 of Swords, 8 of Cups. And you're doing it with a very heavy heart. But you're like, I can't trust this situation. I can no longer trust this individual. And it's time for me to put myself first now. This is big for you. This is big for you because I know you don't want to. You don't want to, but you have to, right? It's that kind of energy. And that's why you're showing me the 10 of Wands. Like, this is a long time coming, Cancer, whatever you're doing. At the end of February, this is a long time coming, and you're having to exercise a lot of courage. This is the way we shine, our regalness, our lioness, our lion energy, where we have to stand up and stand in our truth and integrity and say what must be said with love. But this is strength of conviction. This is, I don't stand for that. I don't stand for that. All right? I'm not going to put up with that. And it's like you're doing it like reluctantly. But I think what you don't realize, this is a huge part of your growth. Huge. It's about, okay, did you learn from the past? Apply it. And that's what Spirit's saying. Apply it. Apply it. And I think that it's almost like you're coming out of the darkness here with the lightness of the fairy's wings, and you're being held in this truth. It's almost like once you deliver the truth, they don't want you to worry about the aftermath of that truth. Let the universe handle it. This is healing for you in your own sovereignty. You standing strong in your sense of self. Some of you are ending a codependent pattern with a family member or a friendship or an ex or a child, okay? And it's hard. This is when we start taking responsibility for other people's paths when that's not our responsibility. I don't care who they are. And it's part of your karmic journey here. Oh, this is tough. This is tough. Whoever this is, they're not going to be happy about it. Nope. But you know what? You can't worry about that. They could kick up a storm here with this devil. Let's see. The Star, the 9 of Cups, the Empress. Ugh. This is a lot of self-love, a lot of self-nurturing you need to give yourself at this time, okay? Doing the things that make you feel stable, healthy, whole, right? Taking care of yourself, nurturing yourself, working on your healing. Yeah. Ooh, I love it. 9 of Wands. You're coming out of... Oh, you're recognizing the pattern. Oh my God, this is huge, Cancer. You were ending some sort of toxic attachment. And it feels like someone. You're not going to respond the same after this to this person. You can't and you won't. Queen of Pentacles. Again, family. Grounding your energy. Saying no. Again, Five of Pentacles. You are saying, and I will say this, and I want you to hear it. No can be said with love, and it can be a complete sentence. And it's taking you some time to get to this place. This is what must be done sometimes. It's almost like, you know what? It's for their own good. You can't come to people's aid and rescue all the time at the expense of your own well-being. I see you grounding in this beautiful energy and coming out of, it's almost like your heart was bleeding for somebody, but then they started to manipulate that. All right, let's go into the devil. Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Wands. A lot of feminine energy. Everywhere I look, there's this feminine energy. There it is. Okay. All right. This is very similar to Pisces, where you do have support in this. It's almost like you could be trying to it's like parts work, where you're looking at different parts of yourself that is incongruent to your ability to be a whole unified person. It's like you've been giving parts of yourself away to something toxic, and then you're reclaiming that and calling that back in, almost like soul retrieval. And you're doing deep, deep integration work around your fire and your water energy at this time. Your heart is bleeding towards somebody that stirs you up, and you worry. And that's the devil. This is the pattern when we start to take responsibility for other people. And so Spirit is saying to you, make the cuts, stand in your truth. It's deeply healing for you. And then change the behavior, change your response. Don't dwell on it. I think that you're doing deep integration work between your heart and your soul. This is when our love is so unconditional, we let people walk all over us. And I'm not saying people, person. And you are now making the investment in you. And I feel like you recognize the devil in your life now. And it was always you making these decisions. And when we take full responsibility, we change. And I see you doing this. It's like that one last final piece of the puzzle. And you've been putting this puzzle together for quite some time, Cancer. And now things are going to be different. You're different. You are jumping timelines here in a different parallel reality where now you're not going to keep repeating this pattern. This is huge. You're standing in your sovereign truth here, acting in accordance with integrity in your words, in your speech. It's like when we know we need to do something that's correct, but we're afraid to do it. So we'll maybe tell other people this is what we want to do, but we can't seem to do it. You've been repeating a pattern where now you're finally going to change it. You're changing the script. Let's get this is big. This is very, very big. You need to be very gentle with yourself. You're coming out of a deep, deep pattern in a family dynamic, heart path. And it's leading you towards your heart. I also want to get a frequency. Remembrance. Yeah. Whoever this is to you, this is a strong soul tie. Okay? But you got to remember who you are. All right? Then I'm going to read this remembrance first. The frequency of remembrance supports our memory of everything that we have gone through as a soul and body, providing us with valuable information and tools to flow gracefully with and in this life. Yeah, this is deep integration work of your soul's journey and your own evolution in your karmic soul bonds. A lot of you, this is a family member, or it feels like a family member. It could be an ex-spouse, or it could be a partner that has been in your life for a while. Someone that you really have nurtured and nurtured and nurtured and nurtured and nurtured. And it's like, how much are they going to take and take and take and take? There has to be a no somewhere. Heart path. It's not worth pursuing a path without passion. This road will only lead you to uncertainty and frustration. Follow your heart and you can't go wrong. You're coming out of some sort of darkness. A lot of you have been doing a lot of deep inner child work, deep therapeutic work in your growth. And you're coming out of, a lot of you are coming out of a dark night of the soul. and you're remembering and coming back online with your wise mind. And this feels more, maybe not a long dark night of the soul. We all go through these periods of deep grief. And we go into that darkness, we go into the void, we go into the underworld, and we recapture parts and reclaim parts of ourselves that we may have lost or were hidden from view with that 7 of Swords. And you're almost coming out of it with a new truth, a new doctrine, a new belief system that you're going to incorporate. And I feel like you're coming into deep, deep alignment with your heart here and your path, having gone through a lot. It's taken great courage to feel like you've had the strength and resolve to go through a lot in this lifetime. And now it's about creating peace. I knew it. I was like, what's next? It's the peace. It's the peace. It's the peace when you know your worth. It's the peace that comes when you know your worth. There's no peace like it. I'm ready to find peace and balance. But we started out with that justice. And then you know your worth. I am worthy. I am good enough. I am ready. Let's get a final message here of advice. This is amazing, Cancer. Very deep work. And I know I've been reading for a lot of you who've gone through deep loss. And it's almost like when we go through a lot and we have to show up for people, and then you have people in your family that may take advantage of that. I just feel like you've had someone in your life that's been more of a taker than a giver. But it's been like your biggest area of growth. What's the advice? The moon, subconscious patterning, subconscious beliefs, the hidden, what's secret in your unconditional capacity to love. Cancer, there you are. Oh, it's like I love, you're like embracing the fullness of you. Ah, Cancer, this is amazing. This is big. Be gentle with yourself. Yeah, you've had a tower around you being so freaking selfless. Give, 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 give. What about, can you give to you? It's time to give to you. How old are you? How many years have you been on this planet? Do you really give to yourself in the way you give to other people? Spirit's saying, you're having a wake-up call. 2 majors here. There's some sort of truth coming to light. Secrets, hidden agendas. You see the deception. You see the mask now. And sometimes it's our very own freaking mask that we put on because we don't want to see the truth about somebody in our life. And it's shocking because you're like, oh my God. It's like, I'm not necessarily seeing a narcissist here, but it's like when you start to recognize, oh my God, they had ulterior motives the whole time. I never even saw it because of my love for them blinded me. So you're realizing how you give your energy and how much you need to give that to you. And this is a huge awakening, Cancer. I'm proud of you. You know your worth and you're creating peace now. That's all that matters. I don't care who it is to you. You're not bound to someone who is disrupting your peace daily, okay? You get to choose. You can distance yourself from that person, even if you're under the same roof, all right? And you can choose with your thoughts. This is when that whole let them theory comes in. Let them. Let people, if they want to be deceptive, let them. They want to lie, let them. But you don't have to interact with that energy, and you certainly can't change that energy, all right? You got this. You're remembering this. You called this in, all right? You got this, Cancer. Take care. Namaste.